As everyone knows, my main goal for this platform is to educate white America about our real racial history. It's also to use my white privilege to provide a safe platform for Black voices, Brown, Indigenous, African American. Because you know what? People are crazy. They'll listen to me, a person who's never lived this, over someone who lives it right now as we speak in 2020. And I don't get that. But that's just kind of a fact of life. So I want to explain, I want you to know your voice matters. And I will do everything I can to make sure you are heard and respected. And it's not out of guilt. And it's not because I'm religious, because I'm not religious one bit. It's because being human is a gift. And no, I'm not trying to be all like hippie-ish on you. Being human is a gift. We have an amazing ability to use critical thinking skills. Unlike other animals, we do not have to act based on instinct alone or based on misinformation or trickery. We can have irrational thoughts and choose not to act on them because we use our critical thinking skills. But we have to want to use these gifts. And too many people do not want to use them. Thinking and changing our ideologies can be painful. It's so much easier to not question our own reality. We like that, okay? It's painful to realize that our school, our books, they're whitewashed. It's painful to know our teachers, our parents, and society have bullshitted us. Educating white America sounds so simple, but I assure you it's not. This is a system to indoctrinate white folks and everyone else pretty much too into white supremacy, okay? And it is not obvious. We are born into it and we are taken at birth. If it was easy to do, the century-old system of racism that causes death, torture, anguish, and inhumane destruction to quality of life would not be in place, alive and thriving in 2020. I want to make one thing crystal clear. Nothing that's going on today, there's nothing going on today in 2020 that hasn't been happening for hundreds of years. If you are watching and you're shocked by Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and police brutality and discrimination, I want to point out to you that nothing has changed. You are finally noticing. I don't mean that to be mean, but it's a fact. Yesterday, due to the invention of cell phones, the world witnessed 4 Minneapolis police officers arrest a Black man, then proceed to slowly murder him in broad daylight while a medium to small crowd begged and pleaded for them to stop. Take your knee off his neck. You're killing him. We watched for 7 minutes while a state-sanctioned execution took place. And if you're new to this subject, please know I cannot explain to you the complexities of systemic racism to white folks in America tonight. I can't. It is huge. It is a personal journey that you must choose to take yourself. Okay? But if you're white, I can tell you that it involves the essence of every institution in America. And I can tell you it's changed in form to accommodate the times. And I can tell you that the origins of the police in America dates back to slave catchers in the South. If you don't know what sundown towns are, the Devil's Punch Bowl, Black Codes, Jim Crow, the disclaimer in the 13th Amendment, the Compromise of 1877, de jure and de facto laws, redlining, the origins of the Ku Klux Klan, lynching parties, human constructs, and I could go on and on. You don't know our real racial history. Truly comprehending the sheer gravity and depth of American racism, the system, is a lifelong process. It's a commitment to a lifestyle. It's not a hobby. It takes introspection and the willingness to take us, the white people, out of the center. You drop your ego at the door and you be quiet and listen. For years, you listen and you learn, and we'll never get there. It takes a crystal clear understanding that when people talk about racism, we are talking about a powerful system. It is not about us as individuals. Saying I'm not racist is inconsequential. Are you racist is not even a yes or no question anyway. The anti-racism continuum for white folks is a lifelong journey, and we will never complete it. It takes dropping your freaking ego at the door and learning our real racial history and realizing that we are part of a group called white people now. Yes, white was made up, but most white people do not like that. They do not like to be called white because they don't consider themselves white. We consider ourselves just the norm. Everyone else is an other. This is how deep it is. Once you learn the truth about how the wealthiest elites use racism to make sure we never unite with our brothers and sisters who are brown, black, African American, and indigenous, and create a nation that actually says what it wants to do, and that is afford liberty and justice to all the people. It will take dismantling being nice to everybody, will not cut it. As racist as Lyndon B. Johnson was known for being, he absolutely understood how to control the white people. When he said, and I think I say this every show, it's totally antiquated, it's rude, please forgive me. I am quoting, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down upon and he'll empty his pockets for you. And that is what we've done. White folks in America have fallen for this century after century. We've been played the fool, voting against our own best interest. And the wealthy elites thank us for our service. 9 months ago, the Los Angeles Times put out Rutgers University study, which are considered pretty good. And they said that getting killed by police is now the leading cause of death for young men in America.